Right is right, even if everyone is against it, and wrong is wrong, even if everyone is for it. William Penn. This is a story of Aditi Gupta, the founder of Menstrupedia. She created something that challenged social norms and stuck by it, even when she was criticized. Let's learn all about her journey. In a dim room, Aditi sat with her laptop open, reading about taboos and myths related to menstruation. She found articles about old rituals that isolated women during their period, and even learned that some women couldn't use sanitary pads because it was considered shameful. As Aditi read these stories of women, she saw that they were told to stay out of temples and kitchens when they had their period. She even read a story about a girl getting hit for just touching a pickle jar while on her period. Upset, Aditi quickly closed her laptop, took a deep breath, and thought to herself, this is nonsense. Nothing has changed since my childhood, and I'm sick of it. At home, young Aditi noticed a stain on her dress for the first time. Her mom quickly told her how to deal with her period and what she should and shouldn't do. While her friends played outside, Aditi had to sit alone on a mat, feeling upset about restrictions. Later, she wrote down how she felt in her diary, starting to really dislike the rules and taboos around her period. After a mini trip down memory lane, Aditi decided that it was time to take action. She refused to accept these harmful norms anymore. She spoke to women and girls, absorbing their stories like a sponge, as she began to weave a wave of change. Backed by Tohin, her rock and co-conspirator, Aditi started to mold the vision of Menstrupedia. It was more than an idea. It was a blueprint for empowerment. Night after night, the duo stayed up and brainstormed ideas. They went back and forth with strategies, messages, and in the way they wanted to build their brand. Their fingers were exhausted from rigorously typing to write the best code for a platform accessible to everyone, right from kids to grandparents. And so, Menstrupedia was born, where art met tech. All fueled by a mission so clear you could feel it. Aditi's eyes sparkled like stars. Her face lit up with a smile so big it could light up a room. A colorful guidebook, bursting with vibrant illustrations and candid stories, demystifying the often taboo subject of menstruation. That's Menstrupedia for you. It's a friendly comic book, breaking down the complexities of period for young girls and women. Through its engaging content, Menstrupedia compacts myths and educates its readers, turning a potentially confusing time into an empowering journey of self-discovery. Every page feels like a whispered secret between close friends, building a world where menstruation is neither feared nor misunderstood. Menstrupedia began as a humble website selling comics, but like a seed sprouting into a mighty tree, it grew beyond its digital confines. Menstrupedia's comics, both in ebooks and paperback, graced the shelves of Amazon, Flipkart, and other e-commerce giants. Yet, like all revolutions, Menstrupedia hit a wall. As they saw the dwelling numbers, they realized that breaking taboos was not just a mission, it was a battle to be won. Aditi lay on her couch, lost in thought. She remembered parking her car and being confronted by Mrs. Mehta, an elderly lady from her society. Mrs. Mehta had criticized her for selling a comic book about menstruation, suggesting it was shameful. Aditi had defended herself, arguing that a period shouldn't be a taboo. But this was not the first time this happened. Everywhere Aditi went, she heard people criticizing her for Menstrupedia. Neighbors pointed fingers at her and made her feel she was doing something wrong. Some people sent her messages of hate, saying she's spoiling Indian culture by openly talking about such shameful topics. Aditi was disheartened. She started questioning if this was too soon for India to accept. Just when she was on the edge of feeling defeated and hopeless, Tuhin gave her a reassuring pat on the back, as if to say, "Don't quit now." Aditi sat there and thought about these comments and criticism. Finally, she felt a renewed determination. She silently reaffirmed her commitment and thought to herself, every brick they throw, I'll use it to build my bridge. With Tuhin's support and Aditi's indestructible vision, they started to develop content not just for online communities, but also for schools and other community groups. Their goal was to break old habits and help people understand the facts. Aditi and Tuhin knew this wouldn't be easy. There was a lot to do, and they were willing to do it. They walked in and out of many doors. It was not easy to convince people that education about menstrual health was important, but the duo kept marching on. After over 150 pitches that saw no results, they were feeling dejected. 150 times they walked in and out of doors, hoping for an opportunity to spearhead change, but none came. They decided to brainstorm some more to see if they needed to change their angle to tap into the communities they were approaching. When Aditi opened her laptop to begin jotting these ideas down, she saw an email that popped on the screen and couldn't believe her eyes. It was the message she was hoping for, a sign that things were starting to change. She had received 3 emails from different schools, invitation for Aditi to speak and the kids to learn. This was a good sign that attitudes were changing. The look on Aditi and Tuhin's eyes had transformed. Where once you could see fear and disappointment, now there was nothing but hope and happiness, as if clouds had parted to let the sun shine in. After one of Aditi's talk in a school, she steps off the stage and a little girl walks towards her. She hugs Aditi tight. No words needed. It's a hug that says more than words ever could. Aditi leans down, all ears. The little one talks about Menstrupedia like it's her new favorite thing. It makes everything about having a period simple. She beams. The girl says bye, comic book in hand. For Aditi and Tuhin, it's clear. The future's getting brighter, one mind at a time. What started as Aditi's passion to bring about a change in mindset now became a global phenomenon. From village to city, the impact of Menstrupedia is going worldwide. It has reached over 13 million people, and that number is still growing. In India, 10,000 plus schools have jumped on board, and Menstrupedia comics are now a part of the curriculum for kids. From Nepal's narrow lanes to Uruguay's schools, Menstrupedia's message knows no borders. It is now available in 20 Indian languages and 23 countries. Talk about being global. That brings us to the end of this inspiring story. Aditi and Tuhin have created a wave of change that will continue to change the world, one mind at a time. This startup began as a simple idea of a comic book that educates people on menstrual health, but has become a revolution. Do you have such incredible startup ideas that require funding? Connect with us on Exit Fund to secure funding and expert startup advice. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and tap the bell icon to keep up with the latest content in the startup world.